Hey, good morning. Beautiful fall morning out here. Just wanted to kind of share some of these leaves with you here in Columbus, Ohio. I want to talk to you this morning about habits. This past week, I was really struck by some of the clients that I've been working with that were really struggling with the idea of formulating some new habits in their own life. In particular, one individual wants to be able to write and communicate with hundreds of people in his organization and simply just has a very difficult time of getting himself to sit down and get into a routine or a habit of writing and establishing a firm line of communication. There's another client that is really struggling with some health issues under a lot of stress, carrying a lot of weight, doesn't have the energy and the vitality to really just show up at work and to be able to give his best. And he knows it's a real physical thing, it's a health thing, and that he needs to be exercising more to just be able to maintain, to work better and to enjoy his life more. And so we talked about one particular thing that I know has worked for me. I see it with people who really are able to establish good habits, and it's the idea of identity-based habits. It's really seeing yourself first, seeing yourself doing the thing that you need to do. Let's just take exercise. I wanted to work out for 6 days a week. I look around, I see people with health problems and weight problems and stress and cancers and diabetes and things like that and high blood pressure. I don't want any of those things in my life, and I know as I've gotten older, I think it's just incumbent upon me to go out and do a little exercise each day. And I'm not talking about running miles and miles, but just be able to go out there, be active, and really do something 6 days a week that's physically 40, 50 minutes a day. And whenever I'm going to do something like that, I start doing a little bit of reading, a little bit of investigating, and kind of find, people or role models that as I look at them and I see the good things that they're doing in their life on a day-to-day basis of staying active, I then try to think that maybe I can't be that person, but there are things that I can emulate. As I start to read, I start to understand, how people do these things. And then the idea is creating some small wins. The way that I do it is, maybe a little old-fashioned, I get that old calendar out. 30-day calendar, and I just start putting an X through the days as that I was active that day. So it's not about the idea of performance, how many push-ups or how many miles I walked or anything like that at all. It's an X through there that I went out and I was active that day, walked in the park, whatever it was. And as I start to see those X's go through those days, I start to build up some wins. Maybe there's a day that I miss. Hey, I just try to come back the next day, put an X there, and just try to build up, days and weeks. And I like looking at those X's there and seeing they're small wins. And then pretty soon those small wins become larger wins, and I'm working out 6 days a week. So the idea first is just really creating the identity, really seeing yourself doing the thing that you want to do. And I'm encouraging you to do that, just to take some time, start to study a little bit, look around. What does that person look like? What would you look like if you were doing that habit? So just a recommendation again, just think about the identity, seeing yourself, being that person that's doing that habit, and then secondly, creating some small wins. Hey, I hope you've had a great week. I want to share some big news with you. I'm a grandfather. My son Ryan and his wife Nicole have a beautiful baby boy, Ryan Christopher Kunk II, and my wife and I are absolutely thrilled. Hey, I hope you've had a great week. See you next week.